smoke and mirrors. It's key to remember that as NFL free agency approaches, those two things will be in heavy use as teams seek to pull off their best illusionist act, hoping to Criss Angel another club into not driving up the price on talent they're both eyeing. The Dallas Cowboys have been guilty of this in the past as well, albeit not as frequently when you consider they truly don't make it a habit of splashing big in the first two waves. It doesn't mean there aren't recent examples of it though, and we may be starring at yet another in 2019. It's long been a foregone conclusion the Cowboys are interested in signing safety Earl Thomas, but a recent report pulls the emergency brake on that presumption. According to Calvin Watkins of The Athletic, the team has no interest in Thomas, and goes on to also name Landon Collins and Eric Weddle as players who the Cowboys won't entertain bringing on. "This is everything," Watkins said. Truer words have never been spoken when it comes to the frugal Cowboys front office, because pulling penny rolls from their grasp is akin to giving a dragon a root canal. That being the case, we've heard this sort of talk before out of the organization, and that's why you should give justifiable pause. It was just 1 year prior when the Cowboys reiterated their annual stance of not overpaying players, and subsequently attempted to sign wideout Sammy Watkins to a deal that would have paid him upwards of $16 million in annual pay. They were cut off at the knees by the Kansas City Chiefs though, and on their search continued for a possible one wide receiver that could lead them in a post-Dez Bryant environment. The domino effect was Allen Hurns inking a 2-year deal in North Texas. It's safe to say the Cowboys are in a similar mental space now as they were then, with the caveat being a difference in position. In 2018, it was the coming WR void they were looking to fill in March. This time around, it's the safety position that's become a thorn in their side, and that's why they nearly laid on the train tracks for a chance at landing Thomas via trade from Seattle. The first offer in April was for a third-round pick, but the Seahawks could not care less as they felt slighted by the All-Pros' antics in trying to pit the Cowboys against them as a leverage move to land a new deal or be shipped out of town absent one. Subsequently, the front office in Dallas played the long game, doubling and tripling down on how confident they were in their current safety core. 5 months later, they offered the Seahawks a second-round pick. Snubbed yet again, Thomas was on his way to the Kansas City Chiefs for the same second-round pick the Seahawks refused to take from the Cowboys, but a broken leg ended his season just ahead of the trade being finalized. Fast forward to the present, and Xavier Woods is as advertised, but veteran Jeff Heath continues to be uneven in his play, and the Cowboys aren't naive. That's why they met with David Mulugheta, the agent for both Thomas and Collins, at the NFL Combine, to establish initial contact. They're not allowed to negotiate with outside free agents until the legal tampering period of March 11th, but no rules say they can't introduce themselves. And so, they did. While Thomas and Collins aren't the only clients on Mulugheta's roster, they're the only ones that fit what the Cowboys need right now. His other clients include Bobby Wagner, Jalen Ramsey, Casey Hayward, Kelechi Osemele, Mike Thomas and Deshaun Watson. As you can readily see, none of those names are exactly popping up on the Cowboys' radar, and each of them are under contract anyway. An upgrade in the safety unit is needed, and Mulugheta represents the top 2 free agents at the position, so no, the Cowboys didn't shake his hand at the Combine simply because he smelled nice. What of Weddle, though? A veteran thrust into free agency in the most unexpected of fashions, but still having Pro Bowl caliber football left in his 34-year-old frame? 3 seasons ago, the Cowboys went hard at attempting to sign Weddle and nearly succeeded, but he instead opted for the Baltimore Ravens at the last minute. With them having now released him, it makes perfect sense the safety-needy team would give him a call, especially if the reported $15 million annual salary request from Thomas turns out to be true. Those who believed Thomas would take a hometown discount simply because they believed his social media antics were more romantic than the obvious leverage grab are now disappointed, because the future Hall of Famer wants the most money possible on what could be his final shot at a monstrous payday. Collins won't come cheap either, and he's a strong box safety, which would be a hard sell for the Cowboys in a big money conversation, even if he is ultimately the better fit thanks to the uptick on Woods. Just ask Barry Church. All makes Weddle the next logical idea, because although he won't sign for a veteran minimum, he won't be as costly as Thomas or Collins. Talks of him possibly retiring should also be put to bed, because he's changed his tune since considering it earlier this offseason. "What a great 3 years we had in B. Moore," Weddle said. 3 Pro Bowls, #1 defense, and 2018 AFC North champs. "Ravens took a chance on me and will forever be grateful. Our family will miss Maryland. Excited to see where I end up next season. That could very well be the Metroplex, for all of the aforementioned reasons and several more." Weddle would give the Cowboys a lowered price without concern for his health or production. He's a 6-time Pro Bowler, after landing another nod in 2018 at 34 years of age, and a 5-time All-Pro that has only missed 3 games in the last 9 years. That's durability comparable to that of Jason Witten, for perspective, and it's something neither Thomas nor Collins can boast. Collins is much more durable than Thomas, and younger, but Thomas is more the position the Cowboys are looking to fill. Thomas is younger than Weddle, but hasn't finished a season since 2015, and has broken the same leg twice in the past 3 years. Of the 3, Weddle is the best fit on all fronts, and a 2-year deal, for example, would give the Cowboys a perfect bridge that still allows them to draft at the position in 2019. Also, the chances of the Cowboys knowing what salary Weddle is seeking just a few hours after his unexpected release are slim. There are, of course, other options for the club as well that must be considered. Clinton Dix and LaMarcus Joyner are on the market as well, making for a robust buffet. It's one of the best free agency classes at the safety position the NFL has seen in a long time, and it just so happens to be perfectly synced with the Cowboys being in grievous need of an upgrade in their defensive third level. That makes for a jagged pill the world is being asked to swallow in believing they won't strike the iron while it's hot, with the more logical takeaway from their reported disinterest being that it's all free agency business as usual, when teams attempt to misdirect and redirect in the hopes they can land the guys they want at the price they want. Let's be clear, folks. If the Cowboys land no one in free agency, it will be because price is indeed everything, but certainly not be because they didn't try. Owner Jerry Jones stated earlier this offseason the club would be in the market for a safety, and we could all simply be looking at free agency spin control, because if other teams know unequivocally the Cowboys and their hefty salary cap space are in the fight, they'll toss the 14-ounce gloves and strap on the 8-ouncers. In the Watkins Hearns situation of 2018, they swung hard at their top guy and landed on a less expensive veteran, although they weren't supposedly interested in attempting the former in the first place. Waiting is the best medicine here. Take 2 and call me in the morning.